career high, KG.
Best game of her career was the last game out for Lachey Dwyer, and she's averaging over 2 steals per game. So let's see how she can slow down Olivia Miles tonight.
Tall task, no question about it. But these two teams, Miami plays very, very fierce, good defensive team. And Notre Dame, one of the best offenses in the conference, averaging 85.5 points per game. And they control the tip, and Olivia Miles with the ball. Miles averaging 7.5 assists per game. One of the best in the country, best in the ACC. Nice move underneath from Kylie Watson. Can't get it to go, and here comes Miami. Take a look at their starting 5. It has been a solid, congruent group all year long. Haley Cavinder with the ball right now. One of the transfers coming in from Fresno State gets it down underneath, and the first basket falls in for Lola Pendande, the 6'4" senior from Spain.
That's a really good sign for Miami. Pendande was struggling a little bit, had a nose issue, but she's in there. She's ready to go. Miami does. They need every one of their post players to show up tonight to deal with Notre Dame's size all around.
So right now you're seeing Jalea Williams guarding Olivia Miles. Miles fading away. What a tough shot. That's what she provides, averaging over 15 points per game.
My goodness, Sam, we're already off to a hot start with Olivia Miles and her highlights. When these two played last year in Greensboro, Jalea Williams really did the majority of the guarding on Olivia Miles. So she's prepared to do that. She did it last year, and Olivia Miles actually struggled when these two played in Greensboro back in March. So keep an eye on that.
Here is Cavinder dribbling through traffic, had it blocked on the way up, able to get it back out. Shot clock winding down. That shot is short. There's Destiny Hardin with the follow. The graduate leader for this team, leading the way, averaging 12.5 per game.
Destiny Hardin has been on a tear in these last 2 games for Miami. She had 20 points against Florida State, 18 versus Florida, picking up right where she left off.
Sonia Citron with the answer on the other end. The other talented sophomore coming in with Olivia Miles. A couple of East Coast kids as well. Sonia Citron out of Eastchester, New York. Miles out of New Jersey. That shot is off, and there's Miles with the rebound. That's something she also does, averaging over 8 rebounds per game. I dare you to find something that Olivia Miles does not do. Top of the key, Westbeld for 3. Count it.
Sam, she grabbed
Early
that
offense.
rebound, which was a difficult rebound, and started the break. And then she gets the assist to Westbeld and gets Westbeld going from 3. Her paw prints are just all over the game at all times.
Talk about career games. Maddy Westbeld, 23 points to lead the way. Last time out against Western Michigan for Notre Dame. There's Miles once again crashing the boards. Leading the break, finds a wide open Maddy Westbeld underneath.
And Sam, I don't think this is the pace that Miami wants. This is the pace that Notre Dame wants. They are one of the best transition teams in the country. Miami wants to slow it down, make it uglier. That's how they were able to have a lot of success when these two last played. So right now, I think Miami's got to find a way to slow this game down.
18 seasons for head coach Katie Meyer, all-time winningest basketball coach at Miami, men's or women's. Has led the Canes to 12 postseason appearances in 17 years. One of the best player developers, really, of all time. That shot's blocked underneath. Driving the lane. Miles shot no good. Back the other way comes the Canes. 9-4 here in the early going. Ball fake there, but leads to a travel for Jalea Williams. On the other side, one of the brightest young coaches in the game, Niele Ivey, 3rd season now, has quickly cemented herself, Kelly, as one of the best coaches and recruiters in the league. Of course, one of the best players to ever wear the Notre Dame uniform. Announced the head coach mere minutes after the Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw announced that she was retiring.
It is so hard to follow a legend, to follow a coach that made a program, and that's what Niele Ivey's doing. And her first season was the COVID year. So she inherited a program and then had to deal with the COVID year. So what she's been able to accomplish, she has Notre Dame back in the top 5 for the first time since 2019, for the first time since Muffet McGraw was the head coach. And You bring up her recruiting, Sam. She's always been a great recruiter. She was the lead recruiter for Notre Dame for many years under Muffet McGraw. And Olivia Miles was Niel's first recruit as a head coach, and that seems to be paying off so far.
Yeah, Miles committed to Notre Dame on Niel Ivey's second day on the job. I mean, that's a pretty good way to start your tenure. Lola Pendande's shot off to the left, and Miles reels it in. Olivia Miles already with like 4 rebounds in the game, Kelly.
Of course. And Maddy Westbeld off to a quick start, which is a great sign for Notre Dame. She is someone who was the ACC Rookie of the Year a couple years ago and is coming off a 23-point game. They need her to get going. But the way that Miami can slow this game down, one of the ways, Sam, is they got to make shots. That's been the issue so far. They're missing good looks, and so Notre Dame's able to get that rebound and run. And Olivia Miles, most of the time, is getting those rebounds, as you've mentioned, and starting the break. So that's been an issue so far for the Canes.
Slow start for Miami. 2 for 8 from the floor. Quickly up ahead. Connection with Westbeld and Olivia Miles.
That Miles-Westbeld connection has been working so far. Maddy Westbeld already has 9 points on 4 for 4 shooting. And Olivia Miles has 4 of Notre Dame's 5 assists.
That ends an 11-0 run there. The shot from Lola Pendande. You see the numbers for Olivia Miles, the only player in the entire country averaging over 15 points, over 8 rebounds, and over 5 assists. And she can do that with the best of them. Fading away, Olivia Miles now with 4 points on the game, already 4 rebounds and 4 assists. We could be on an early triple-double watch here, Kelly.
We always should be with Olivia Miles, and I think I see Lachey Dwyer coming to the scorer's table to come in for Miami to try to slow down Miles defensively. But that jumper that Miles shoots, when you combine her 5'10 frame, which is very good size for the point guard spot in the women's game, and the way she shoots the fadeaway, how do you stop that with her size and the way she fades and just the way she hits that so consistently?
That's going to be something that, hey,
Miles does it all. We are not exaggerating. She has 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in the first 6 minutes of this game. That is ridiculous. Right there, she grabs the rebound, gets the assist up to Westbeld, another assist to Westbeld. That connection is going. And then the 2 fadeaways. This is what I'm talking about, Sam. At her size and the way she can fade away on the jumper, you can put your hand up, but you're not really even contesting the shot. She has a complete space to get that shot off. And on the bench right now, getting a well-deserved rest. I'm not sure I've ever seen 4 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the first 6 minutes of a game. I'm not sure I've seen that, Sam. You let me know if you have, because that's crazy.
Olivia Miles provides us with the unseen every single time she's on the floor, it appears. Something new that we have never seen before. Coming off one of the best freshman seasons in a long time. Sonia Citron gets the steal, working on Hardin, gets the foul, can't get the basket. So Citron will go to the line to shoot 2.
This was a good job adjusting by Sonia Citron. She was trying to hit Destiny Hardin with the Euro step, so she's going to step right and then try to go left. And Hardin is able to slow her down a little bit, but Citron still able to adjust and get that shot off without traveling.
Niel Ivey picked up a couple of the best rebounding guards, I think, recruits in the country, with Citron, who's averaging 7 boards a game, and Olivia Miles with 7.5. It's just been really impressive to see those two work together.
Well, and you have to be aware, Sam, of your size at the guard spot, because it can be difficult when you have, and Katie Meyer was talking about this, right now she has some smaller guards, and so to make up for that rebounding-wise, you're relying a lot on your bigs. When you have Citron at 6'1", and Olivia Miles at 5'10", they can help you so much rebounding the ball.
Strong drive there from Lachey Dwyer. We talked about it at the top of the show. Coming off a career-high 23 points against Florida State. Miles skips one across. Nice look. Excellent find, and the basket is there for KK Bransford, freshman guard from Cincinnati.
Sam, so first play where we really see Dwyer trying to guard Miles, I'm going to say this nicely. Miles cooked her. She just cooked her using that ball screen and passing the rock like she does.
Weaving in and out of defenders, Miles draws the foul. I mean, how do you slow down a player like Olivia Miles, Kelly? I mean, that's such a tall task.
Sam, you say your prayers before, the night before, okay? And you just hope that maybe you can get her in foul trouble. And that's something that Miami did a really good job on Miles in this game back in Greensboro that we've been referencing. They got two fouls on Miles early. She picked up a charge 1 minute into the second quarter. And so if you can get her in foul trouble, which Maryland did as well, then of course that's going to help you. But Olivia Miles has gotten so much better at knowing when to attack and how to avoid getting charges called on her. That was an issue last year, and it's really not been an issue for her so far this season. So it's just made her even more difficult to defend.
Coming up next, Duke squaring off against number 7, NC State. That'll be coming up on the ACC network when we conclude here in Coral Gables. So a couple of top 10 teams in action tonight. We will send you over there to Raleigh after we are done. Been a tough start for Miami from the floor, Kelly. 4 for 15, shooting 26%. Here's Cavinder trying to get her going. Haley Cavinder now with 4 points in the game. Second leading scorer on the team, averaging 12.
As I mentioned earlier, you have to make shots to slow down Notre Dame because then they can't get out in transition. So that was a big make right there for Cavinder and Miami. The former Mountain West Player of the Year, Haley Cavinder, one of the best shooters in the ACC and can just flat out score.
Cavinder coughs it up, regains possession, and gets it out to Hardin. Cavinder gets the high ball screen, drives into the paint, fades. As the shot affected, there's Hardin getting fouled underneath.
And we just saw Cavinder get blocked by Kylie Watson. I think the size inside with Ebo and Watson is bothering Miami. But on this previous bucket, she uses that screen really well, hip to hip, not giving Bransford any room to get through that screen and get her shot off. And then Destiny Hardin, who just does everything for Miami. She does a little bit of everything. She's a great rebounder for her size. That's something Miami has to do. Those second chance points, Sam, if you're going to let Notre Dame speed you up, which has already been an issue for Miami, when you do get in the half court, you've got to find a way to get second chances like they are right now.
Well, head coach Katie Meyer, we talked to her yesterday, talked about how she was going to prepare for this Notre Dame team. And she made a couple of quips about the height advantages that Notre Dame might have. But when you think about Miami basketball and you think about Katie Meyer, you think tough-nosed defense, you think very intense. That was something that they did not necessarily have against Florida State the last time out. There's some good defense there. Ball gets out to Olivia Miles, though. Shot clock down to 5. Miles gets it out. Dara Mabry, long 3. Off the back iron, the whistle underneath going the other way.
And that was a great, you pointed it out, Sam, a great defensive possession by Miami. If you get Notre Dame in the half court, the way Miami can guard the ball on the perimeter, they're going to be able to slow down Notre Dame in the half court. It's transition that's an issue. And to be fair, Notre Dame in transition is an issue for everybody. But good job by area vets there to stay in front of Miles, knowing the shot clock was counting down. And that's what Miami has to do. They have to get themselves in these situations where they're playing half-court defense on the Irish.
45 to play here in this first quarter. Notre Dame leading at 21-11. Area vets thought about it. In the paint, and a nice put up there for Jasmine Roberts, sophomore out of Jacksonville, her first points of the game.
Excellent patience by Miami, swinging the ball around and then getting it to that high post area, and a good decision by Roberts to call her own number and take that mid-range jumper.
Just about 1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Dwyer on Miles. Miles gets it back. Excellent pass. Citron can't hit the 3. Ball bouncing around, and finally the buzzer goes off. So we end the first quarter with Notre Dame still in the lead, out to a hot start, shooting 57% from the floor.
We've got two great head coaches in this matchup. One of them has over 400 wins. The other one has 44. Now, Niele Ivey, of course, has the 44 because she's only in her third season. But these are two of the most well-respected coaches in the game. And Katie Meyer was telling us a great story that when she was an assistant at Tulane in the late 90s, she recruited Niele Ivey to Tulane. Now, of course, Niele Ivey chose Notre Dame. She won a national championship there as a point guard. The rest is history. But I thought that was pretty cool that one of these coaches recruited the other.
I'm with you, KG, and I also thought it was really cool that Niele Ivey talks a lot about the respect she has for Coach Katie Meyer for a lot of reasons, but one of which was because Katie Meyer continually reaches out and did reach out in her first season during that COVID year, kind of giving her some words of encouragement. And I always thought that was really cool hearing both of the coaches talk about that. It's a good start for Miami here to start the second quarter. Haley Cavinder now with 5 points, hitting her first three. Lauren Ebo underneath doesn't get the roll. Lachey Dwyer pushing it all the way, gets fouled on the drive. Goes against Dara Mabry.
Miami with a lot of confidence coming out of that second quarter. Notre Dame in the half court is playing some zone. Haley Cavinder hit that three, and then they get a stop. They go the other way, and a good job by Dwyer to read the situation and continue to attack.
So what was the message from Katie Meyer there at the first break, Kelly, when you were saying they need to make some shots? What else do they need to do against this Notre Dame team?
I think the main message was just to calm down, and Miami did that in the second part of that first quarter, kind of the last 4 minutes. They looked a lot calmer. They took better shots. But also to be aware of, look, Notre Dame's now playing some zone. Here are our zone sets. That's something that she probably would have gone over in that huddle. Here's the 1 or 2 zone sets I really want us running to be prepared for that Notre Dame zone here in the second quarter.
It was an 8-point game at the first break. It is now a 4-point game, but Lauren Ebo underneath extends it to 6. The grad transfer from Texas has been a huge piece off the bench for them. Leading scorer off the bench.
She has been one of the most impactful transfers in the country, and it's been kind of surprising, but she's been great. She's brought some grit, some toughness, and some size inside what Notre Dame needed after losing Maya Dodson last year.
Poked away from behind, back the other way. Miles fouls Jasmine Roberts, and a hard foul at that.
A rare turnover from Olivia Miles. A good job by Roberts to get her hand on the ball. And then Olivia Miles, I'd love to see, I'm not sure if we have, there we go, other angles of that, but
ooh,
there was some body, but there was a lot of ball. There was a lot of ball there. I can see why Miles was a little frustrated.
You mentioned it. That was one of the reasons why Olivia Miles had a bit of a quieter game the last time these two met. She got in early foul trouble, 2 fouls in the second quarter, I believe it was. So that's just her first. We'll keep an eye on it. Some full court pressure coming from the Hurricanes here.
She has to be careful, but if I'm Miami, I am making sure every one of my teammates knows that Olivia Miles has a foul. And if we can get a second one on her, that can change the game.
Mabry has the shot blocked, back the other way, 3-on-3. Lachey Dwyer, 4-3, in and out. Man, that would have been a huge basket for Miami. All right, tomorrow afternoon we'll have a college basketball triple header that begins with this game in Pittsburgh at noon Eastern time. Armando Bacot, Caleb Love, North Carolina take on Blake Hinson and the Panthers at the Pete Peterson Events Center. Should be a good afternoon of hoops right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app.
And Sam, here's the difference between non-conference play and ACC play. Notre Dame gets off to the kind of start they did in the first quarter against almost any non-conference opponent. The game's effectively over. They're just going to keep doing what they want to do and run away with it. Miami's not going away. That's the difference in ACC play. Miami's familiar with this team. They're tougher. They've got the talent to match, and this game has become closer, and I think that's really kind of what these teams have to adjust to. We're no longer in non-conference play. Every one of these teams that we play on a given night in the ACC can beat us. And you're seeing that with Miami and Notre Dame.
That's a good point. Whistle goes against Kyla Olderker, freshman forward from Mason, Ohio. So 25-19. Number 5 Notre Dame in town to take on Miami. Hurricanes have lost their last 2 to the in-state rivals Florida and Florida State. Notre Dame has won 4 in a row. Coast to coast, and the basket good for Jasmine Roberts, who's got a team leading 6 points. She's brought Miami back within 4. Ball inside, Ebo powers her way up. And a late whistle there. Miami doesn't like it. You see the bench react as the whistle goes against Lola Pendande. That's her first.
I agree, Sam, it was a late whistle, but I also think it was a foul. So, however you're going to call it, at least they called it. And for a player like Ebo with her size, she should not be able to move that quickly with her first step. She caught the ball, felt where Pendande was, went left in a split second, was able to get by her. And that kind of speed combined with Ebo's size is just very rare.
You want to talk about impact, too. In the Irish's 2 biggest wins this season, you talk UConn and Virginia Tech. Lauren Ebo scored 12 points and 15 points, respectively, in those 2 games, and was a huge, huge part in winning those 2 games. There's a travel on the drive.
And Sam, I would say her impact was, yes, she scored, and that was huge, but her impact was really felt on the defensive end. What she did versus Liz Kitley, and what she did against Aaliyah Edwards for UConn, bringing that toughness, bringing that size. She's a great complement to Watson, who generally starts at the 5 for them. Watson doesn't have as much size as Ebo, can score it as well, but you have 2 different types of players that you have to prepare for if you're a post player trying to score on Notre Dame.
Miles with 7 to shoot. Whips one all the way across to Citron. And Citron gets fouled on the drive. Count the bucket. How about the pass and the feed, though?
Sonia Citron, for whatever reason, probably because she plays with Miles, is so underrated. A great job by Citron to pump fake, attack, and finish through contact. Ebo's fired up for her teammate. And Citron is the 2nd leading scorer on this Notre Dame team. She's putting up numbers. I just think she's a very understated type of personality. She doesn't really want much credit. She just goes about her business. She's going to give you 15 and 7 and just move on. But Sam, she did receive votes when we all voted on the top 25 players in the country, some of the ESPN panel. Citron was the other Notre Dame player receiving votes, and I do think people are starting to understand what she means to this team.
Carla Ariavets gets in the scoring column, her first basket of the game. Miami hanging tough. Here is that list there, the ACC players on the ESPN.com top 25. Olivia Miles leads the way for the ACC at number 4. Freshman phenom Tanaya Latson at Florida State. Got to imagine is going to move up that list as well. Of course, the preseason player of the year and the reigning player of the year, Liz Kitley, at number 7.
It's very interesting, Sam, because you mentioned Liz Kitley as the reigning player of the year, and right now, Olivia Miles is ranked higher than her, and I'm good with that. I think the way that they both have played so far, Miles deserves that ranking. And I was able to talk with some other colleagues who were on that panel, specifically a player like Rebecca Lobo, a commentator and player like Lobo, who really knows what she's talking about with post players. And the one knock on Kitley, she does everything. She's an exceptional talent. The one knock is at times in the biggest games that Virginia Tech has played, she hasn't showed up as much. The Tennessee game and the Notre Dame game. And so I think that's fair, because when you look at Miles, the UConn game and the Virginia Tech game, she played at her best. And that's been the difference. It's small, but that's been the difference so far between the two.
The preseason all ACC selection, Olivia Miles. And I think we remember her year last year, but remember when she was an early enrollee in the 2020-21 season. And right when she stepped on the court, you saw a couple of turnovers, but you saw the magic that was there with Olivia Miles. There's a lob pass into the post. Looking for Citron was Westbeld. Mabry on a broken play, cashes in the three. And Dara Mabry makes her 27th three of the year.
Great job by Citron to make something out of nothing. That play was dead. She gets the loose ball and has the wherewithal to find her teammate. And sometimes, Sam, shooting a three off a broken play is ideal because the defense is just so confused. They lost track of Dara Mabry, and you never want to lose track of Dara Mabry. This woman has made 295 threes in her college career. That is a ridiculous number for Dara Mabry.
Surpassed her two sisters earlier this year, now just 5 threes away for 300 on her career. As Citron loses the dribble there, goes out of bounds back to the Canes. There's Dara Mabry there, 11.5 points per game. Shooting almost 40% now from three. Cavinder thought about it. Ariavets drives baseline, loops one underneath, and there's Spearman to put it up and in. Nice play for the U.
Ariavets is known for her passing ability and for her ability to take care of the basketball. She only has 2 combined turnovers in Miami's last 3 games. That's a veteran move and just a great pass from Ariavets.
Citron, nice catch and nice finish. That's a tough finish with contact.
So with both Citron and Westbeld, Notre Dame's trying to exploit that size advantage. They're trying to get the ball inside to Westbeld versus Hardin, and Citron versus really any other guard, and they're doing a good job of that.
6th turnover of the game for Miami, and Sonia Citron started to pick it up here in the second quarter. 8 points, 3 for 4 from the field.
Highlight package is pretty telling, Sam. No Micaiah Gray anymore for Miami, and no Kelsey Marshall, who was their leading scorer last year. Katie Meyer told us that those two were just so vocal that at times they're missing that vocal leadership. She has some great leaders in her seniors this year, but they're just not as vocal, and so that's been a difference for Miami.
Yeah, no juniors on this Miami roster either, so there's a little bit of a gap between some of the older players, the seniors and graduate students, to the younger sophomores and freshmen on this team. Still waiting for that leader to really emerge for Miami. Certainly worth noting that this Miami team started slow last year as well, and they finished 8-2 against ACC opponents before making it to the NCAA tournament.
Great rebound by Spearman, the freshman out of Georgia at 6'4". She had a double-double in the Florida game. They need a little more from her, and they're going to need her size throughout this game.
Also one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the entire conference. 16 O boards a game for Miami. They already got 4 here in this one. Notre Dame has 0. Miles on the drive and the finish.
Miles looking for a little and one. She probably deserved it, but Miles had really been quiet in this second quarter. Those are her first points of the second quarter, so that's big for Notre Dame. And credit Miami with Dwyer and Williams, the way they've been able to make Miles think twice a bit on offense.
Spearman shot too long.
And here's another look at that Olivia Miles attack. Spearman tries to hedge. Miles notices that they've kind of switched it there. So Miles says, I've got a big on me. I've got 6'4" Spearman on me. Let me hesitate for a second and get right to the rim.
We also have number 4, Cavinder Prosper, making her collegiate debut here in this game. Officially joined the team on December 26th. Only other recruit to enroll early, Olivia Miles. And there's Cavinder Prosper, 6'2" freshman out of Montreal. So how about that? You join the team on the 26th. You're thrown into a game on the 29th.
Sam, I can't imagine. I really can't imagine being thrown into a game 3 days after you got on campus, and it's an ACC game on the road. How many plays does she know? You know what I mean? I think you're just you're putting her out there trying to get her some minutes. She's a super talented player, top 20 recruit in her class, and has great size. But wow, I just can't imagine being in that situation.
A 5-star recruit
Whew.
How about the finish?
Well, there you go.
Excellent
that shows
stuff.
why she's on the floor. You don't need to know many plays or many sets if you're just going to guard someone and swat the ball into the 5th row, Sam. Goodness gracious. Welcome to college basketball for Prosper.
Little give and go there. Ooh, good look. Ebo wasn't ready for it. Pass maybe a bit low.
I like the idea. I also think in some ways those actions are just a little forced. Notre Dame can get a good look without having to do so much, without having to run that give and go and get into the painted area where you have so many trees around you and then make that very difficult pass to Ebo. It's just a high level of difficulty there, and Notre Dame can get a better look than that.
Poked away there by Westbeld, up ahead to Mabry, and Mabry couldn't finish. Lachey Dwyer back the other way. Doesn't have numbers, and Dwyer will pull it out. Right back inside. Oldiker gets fouled. Well, the ACC network has number 7 Clemson covered here in Miami for the Capital One Orange Bowl. Tonight, 10 Eastern, the Huddle crew will have the latest on the eve of the game, and tomorrow coverage continues at 6, wraps up after the game against number 6 Tennessee. With the ACC Huddle's post-game show, they'll have a complete breakdown reaction from coaches, players. Nobody covers the ACC like we do. Well, Kelly, Dabo Sweeney has gotten the Tigers to kind of a point where 11 wins is like disappointing.
It's always good to be in the Orange Bowl as a football program. I think you know which way I'm leaning in this Orange Bowl tomorrow and which orange I'm rooting for. It's the good orange. It's that Clemson orange.
The good orange. Not just the fourth
Sandra
time
Bullock said it best. Sam, I know you're familiar with the blind side. She said, I will not wear that gaudy orange. It is not in my color wheel. The Clemson orange should be in your color wheel.
Wheel, yeah. That's just the 4th time these two those teams have met on the gridiron, so that'll be fun to watch tomorrow. Olivia Miles gets to the free throw line, probably more than most. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in the game, now in double figures.
One thing that Katie Meyer pointed out about this Notre Dame team is that they've done a really good job this year of getting to the free throw line. They're one of the best in the country when it comes to free throw attempts per game. Last year, when they lost to Miami, they only got to the line 6 times in the whole game. So that's been something that Notre Dame has improved upon. They've just been more aggressive, settled for less long jumpers, and really settled for less threes overall.
Area vets with the left-handed floater. That's no good. Offensive rebound there for Oldiker. Puts it back up and in. Talk about offensive rebounds. That's 6 now.
And this is just the 2nd game for Oldiker. She's a freshman McDonald's All-American going up against Ebo and these other vets for Notre Dame. This is just her 2nd game that she's played in a Miami uniform. She's battling inside to get this offensive rebound. Ebo looked up at the ball, didn't look back at where her man was. Had the inside leverage. If she had turned around and boxed out Oldiker instead of looking up, she probably would have grabbed that rebound.
KK Bransford's shot is no good, out of bounds. Will stay with Notre Dame and a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Miami outscoring Notre Dame here in the 2nd quarter, 18-17. Remember, it was an 8-point deficit for the U at the 1st quarter break, 21-13. Notre Dame 0 for the last 4 from the field.
And Miami doing a great job on the glass against this Notre Dame team that has out-rebounded other teams all year. Miami's +2 in that rebounding margin right now.
Oldiker fouls Ebo. It's going to be her 2nd.
Miami now with 3 players with 2 fouls. Oldiker and Pendande both have 2, so that's something to watch in the 2nd half.
Ebo in and out there. 1 for 3 from the free throw line here tonight. Coming off her best statistical season of her career last year at Texas. Misses both. 35 to play. Lachey Dwyer can't finish at the rim.
Dwyer has to use her left hand there, Sam. She still tried to use her right and was unable to get a good angle. You've got to be able to put that up with the left.
Just about 4-second difference. Mabry open for three. Yes! Dara Mabry cashes in her second, and a huge shot. Does Miami have an answer? Winding down, Ariavets had it blocked. And it will be a 10-point deficit for the U at the break, 41-31. What a huge shot, Kelly, for Dara Mabry.
This is just what Dara Mabry does. If you give her a little daylight, she is going to knock it down, Sam.
41-31 is the score here in Coral Gables. Usually we'll send it up to Bristol, but this time we'll send it just about 6 miles down the road.
Lead as we head into the third.
There is Olivia Miles, 10 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. Seems like every time that she steps on the floor, KG, she is on triple-double watch. And you go back to last year's NCAA tournament, too. Recorded a triple-double in the NCAA tournament. First one to do so as a freshman, and did so in her debut, no less. So that's kind of where she announced, hey, I'm a triple-double threat every time I step foot on the hardwood.
She was the first freshman, male or female, to record a triple-double in the NCAA tournament. That is quite the feat.
All right, just getting underway here in the third quarter. And ball knocked loose on the floor. And a jump ball possession arrow to Miami. Well, you were saying,
Great job
Kelly,
by Miami
during the
to collapse there.
Yeah, you were saying during the break that this game feels a lot closer than a 10-point deficit, and I'm with you there. Take away the 11-0 run that Notre Dame went on in the first quarter.
Right.
This is a whole different ballgame.
Right, and you can't take that away. I mean, part of basketball is that it's a game of runs, and Notre Dame has the ability to go on runs like that. But once Miami settled in, this game felt very close, and now Destiny Hardin with that bucket. This is a veteran Miami team. We've talked about how the last time these two played, Miami won. Miami is not going away. Notre Dame is going to have to scratch and claw if they want to come out of here with a win.
Big shot to get Destiny Hardin going. Had just 3 points in the first half. Citron on the drive. The right hand no good. Westbeld brings in the rebound. First offensive rebound of this second half. Ariavets up ahead to Cavinder. Cavinder, extra pass, the foul and the basket. Destiny Hardin.
Hardin coming out of the locker room, ready to play. This was a great pass by Cavinder to find Hardin, and Hardin finishing with contact. We've mentioned Destiny Hardin. Her last 2 games for Miami, she's averaging 19 points, and both of those games were against rivals in Florida and Florida State. So can Destiny Hardin continue to stay hot in this second half, Sam? That's going to be the question. They need her to continue to look for her shot.
Down to a 5-point lead for the number 5 team in the country. 41-36, Destiny Hardin with 5 points to start the third quarter. Lauren Ebo looking underneath, a lot of contact there. Westbeld was tied up with Pendande. No whistle, ball goes out of bounds, Miami basketball.
Notre Dame is trying to get the ball into Westbeld when Hardin is guarding her. That's been something that worked pretty well in the first half, but that time, Destiny Hardin, you mentioned it, Sam, maybe a little contact, but Hardin is going to have to hold her own against Westbeld inside, and she did a good job there.
Little heat check there for Hardin off the back iron. Olivia Miles brings in her 6th rebound.
Sam, I thought we were about to go into Destiny Hardin in ACC tournament mode. When last ACC tournament, again, where Miami beat Notre Dame, Destiny Hardin had the tournament of her life. It's like she just flipped a switch. She hit the game winner against Louisville. Could we see ACC tournament mode for Destiny in this second half? We'll see.
Scored the last 15 points of that game against Louisville. That was incredible to watch. Here's Mabry. Short jumper, no good. Offensive rebound. Ebo gets a second chance at it. Third chance. And we got a whistle on the floor finally as Ebo will be helped to her feet. Couldn't find the bottom of the basket there.
So I believe they called this a shooting foul on that third attempt, which honestly may have been the play with the least contact, Sam, of the three. I think, okay, they called it on the floor. That's what I was wondering about too. They called that on the floor.
Maddy Westbeld connects on the jumper there. 11 points for Westbeld to lead the way. Remember, she's coming off a 23-point performance against Western Michigan a week and a half ago. Pendande underneath. Had a good start to the game, was a little bit quiet in the second quarter.
Great steal by Pendande. If you can pull Ebo away from the basket, get her up on your left side, and then get the lob, that's how you beat a bigger post player inside.
Excellent ball movement there. Westbeld with the assist to Ebo. Back and forth we go. Offensive game here to start the second half. Notre Dame averages over 85 points per game. Miami 78 points per game. Miles looking to push in transition. Tough pass to Mabry. Able to bring it in. Mabry gets fouled on the drive.
Great catch by Dara Mabry. And this is where I think Notre Dame and some of these players around Miles are becoming more comfortable playing with her, because some of these passes, they come out of nowhere, and the level of difficulty is so high that maybe they're going to bounce before or something like that. So that was a good job by Mabry to corral that ball and not let that become a turnover.
I got to imagine, Kelly, as a shooter yourself, playing with a player like Olivia Miles has to be really exciting. Destiny Hardin's having an exciting start to this second half as well. 10 points in double figures. She only had 3 points in the first half.
If I was playing with Miles, I would be always ready to shoot it. Always ready, because she's going to find you. And if I was playing with Destiny Hardin, I would just be so happy she was on my team because of all the things that she does, the toughness she brings, her rebounding ability, her confidence. She would be a great teammate. She's always going to be locked in. She's always going to keep you in a game. And she's really brought Miami back into this game by herself here in the third quarter.
Mabry, little hezzy in and out. And the rebound to Cavinder. 5-point game. Miami hanging around here at home. 6:10 left to play in the third quarter. Cavinder with the drive, left-handed, can't finish. Just a couple of those shots, Kelly, at the rim. Notre Dame's causing some problems, but feels like Miami should finish a couple of these.
Got to make those layups, especially against a team like Notre Dame. You know, they can score quickly and go on runs. Every somewhat easy shot, that was still a difficult shot for Cavinder, but every shot around the rim you have to have if you're Miami.
See the offense there after the block from Westbeld. Last season, this was a tough offense. Had struggles scoring the basketball. 61 points a game this season, 78 points a game. That's a plus 17 scoring improvement. Again, still early in the year this year, but without Micaiah and Kelsey Marshall from last year. Bringing in the Cavinder twins from Fresno State. Haley has provided some offense, and the emergence of Lachey Dwyer as well. Hardin with a pull-up J. So smooth.
Sam, that is so hard to defend. I don't know how you defend it. A one-dribble pull-up with the way Destiny Hardin can elevate. Also, her shooting pocket is really high. It's near her head, so she's elevating, and her shooting pocket is even higher. It's just so hard to guard, and that's what makes Destiny Hardin a really tough out.
Foul going against Spearman here as we will step aside. The first media timeout in the third quarter. Miami sticking around here, making it tough on the number 5 team in the nation. Well, you look at the breakdown quarter by quarter here in this one. Notre Dame led by 8 after the first, led by 10 at the half, but Destiny Hardin, the graduate leader for this Miami team, has woken up and has dropped in 9 points already here in this third quarter. Still a lot to play, but Kelly Gramlich, you can't overstate the importance of Destiny Hardin, what she means to this team.
She came out of halftime with just a different look on her face, a different demeanor. She was looking to score right from the jump. She has one of the best pull-up jumpers in the ACC. She's running the floor. She's rebounding the ball. This is exactly what you need from your senior leaders if you're Miami.
It's a good inbounds to KK Bransford. The play designed out of the media timeout. Gets Notre Dame back in front by 7. An errant pass from Eryavets.
Sam, the sign of a well-coached team for Notre Dame is really who I'm referring to, is how they execute on an out-of-bounds play coming out of a timeout. If they can execute exactly what their coach just drew up for them, what Niele Ivey just drew up, that's a disciplined team. That's a team that was locked in during the huddle.
Hardin read the pass into the interior well. Hands it off to Eryavets, and back come the U. Foul off the ball. And staying here with Miami. We've seen some amazing fans across the ACC, and now we need your help. This winter, ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic, take a video, tag it with the hashtag #AllTheDevotion. That is hashtag #AllTheDevotion, and post it to your social. You just might see it on the ACC Network. Inbounds underneath after the foul on Ebo, her second. Oldacre working on Ebo, puts up a shot, gets the rebound, steps on the line. And it will be Irish basketball.
Oldacre is battling inside, but this is a true freshman against a fifth-year senior. And Oldacre has the body. There's no doubt about it. She's a McDonald's All-American. She's ready to go in terms of her size at the college level. That time, I think she just rushed her move. That's something where post players, one thing that they have to learn as they get older is patience inside. They want to try to go score so quickly. You've got to be able to dribble once or twice and make your move and have some patience.
Eryavets left wide open there from about 6 feet from the basket. There's Olivia Miles, talked about it at the half. Triple-double watch, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. A little bit quiet start to this third quarter as that shot falls in for KK Bransford, who's had a couple of baskets in a row here. She's got 7.
Speaking of McDonald's All-Americans, that's another McDonald's All-American. Both Oldacre and Bransford were on that team coming out of the 2022 class.
Bransford leading the break for Notre Dame. 51-44, 3 left here in this third quarter. A nice little give and go. Bransford gets fouled, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Good work between Bransford and Ebo there, KG.
Sam, that is such a heads-up play from a true freshman in KK Bransford. She gets rid of the ball as she sees a little bit of a double coming, and then quickly cuts back door. She was able to get behind Destiny Hardin, who's a fifth-year senior, just make a high basketball IQ play. Of course, you would have loved to see her finish it, but still, that give and go and the communication, the nonverbal communication between her and Ebo was excellent to make that happen.
Third foul on Destiny Hardin, so she will go to the bench, and Jasmine Roberts will replace her, so we'll keep an eye on that with Destiny Hardin leading the way for Miami here in this second half so far. Bransford off the mark. Goes 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Yeah.
That's huge to have Destiny Hardin on the bench. She was such a spark for this team in the third quarter, did everything for them. How does Miami respond?
See if Cavinder can get going a little bit. Cavinder had just 5 points in the first half. That's her first basket of the second.
A little shake and bake for Cavinder.
There's Lachey Dwyer now. Little hezzy, runs into Miles. No foul. The bench for Miami is on their feet. It is a 3-point basketball game.
The bench has to stay on the bench, Sam. They're going to get some sort of technical foul with how excited they are. Love seeing the bench react like that for their teammates.
And the steal, the foul in the basket. It is a 1-point ball game and a chance to tie it up for Lachey Dwyer.
Katie Meyer told us she had so much confidence in Dwyer coming off the bench, the young sophomore, in her ability to guard Olivia Miles. And she gets the steal, just picks Miles's pocket, and not only that, but gets the finish and draws a foul on Olivia Miles. You can't ask for a better possession if you're Miami and Lachey Dwyer.
We are tied in Coral Gables, folks. 51-51. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. A 7-0 run for the U inside the Watsco Center. And a foul called against Notre Dame. Or travel, excuse me. Turnover for Olivia
That's the
Miles.
right call. Miles picked up the ball and was just trying to make that entry pass, but took one extra step. It's a good call by the official.
7-0 run for Miami. Area vets looking underneath. Oldacre working on Ebo. As the shot affected, no whistle, back the other way. Citron quickly up ahead. Brantford had it blocked from behind. It was Jalea Williams. Williams for three. Too strong. Excuse me, that's Jasmine Roberts.
Both teams need to settle down a little bit here. Miami, very hyped up right now. And of course, Notre Dame struggling.
How about it? Couple of turnovers. Olivia Miles has been rattled by this Miami defense. And the Hurricanes have taken their first lead since it was 2-0 in this game.
Hurricanes are on a 9-0 run. They have turned their defense into offense. Jasmine Roberts with a big block there. And then Roberts with another steal gets the ball up to Lachey Dwyer, who has come alive in this third quarter. Her defense on Olivia Miles has been exceptional, and she's also scored the ball really well on the other end. Sam, I'm not sure I've seen a player frustrate Miles this much this season than what Dwyer is doing to Olivia Miles right now.
It's been really impressive, and we've seen Dwyer's defense on display earlier this season. Had 8 steals in a game against Florida. But 18 points off of Notre Dame's 16 turnovers for Miami. Here's Olivia Miles in the corner trying to break free, but Dwyer is right on her. Inside to Ebo. Extra pass, Westbeld. Nice find by Ebo to end that 9-0 run.
Again, I said this earlier, to execute like that out of a timeout just shows how well coached Notre Dame is and how well they can execute. They pass the ball so well between their post players.
All knotted at 53 apiece, 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Cavinder, too strong. Citron brings in the rebound. Shot clock is off. There's Dwyer, gets burned a little bit, able to recover. 5 to play. Olivia Miles with the ball on area vets. Miles for 3. Off the back iron, and that will end the third quarter. But Miami, 22-12, outplaying Notre Dame in the third quarter and have tied the ball game up 53-all.
By Miami. Sam, you mentioned it. They win that quarter by 10. And of course, we had a 10-point deficit at half. Simple math. We've got a great fourth quarter coming up here, Sam Ravitch.
We certainly do. 53-all in the Watsco Center. An early turnover has caused issues for Notre Dame in this game. That is the 17th turnover of the game. Just for reference, Notre Dame averages 15 a game. Shot for Dwyer, gets her own rebound. How about the hustle? Kicks it out. And the 3, no good. There's Cavinder fighting for the rebound and a jump ball. Possession arrow to Notre Dame. Talk about the fight for this Miami team. Starting to come alive here, KG.
This is what Miami's known for. They're known for their defense. They're known for their grit. They're known for playing as one. And you're seeing all of that from Miami. They just played Florida State before Christmas. They gave up 92 points to Florida State. Now, Florida State's very good. They're a great offensive team, but that was too many for head coach Katie Meyer. And the emphasis on defense in practice the last couple of days is showing right now, Sam.
Cavinder, one of the best three-point shooters in the league, hits her 27th of the year. Mabry looking for the answer, in and out. Destiny Hardin with the rebound. Remember, Hardin's playing with 3 fouls. Trying to post up underneath there, and a wraparound. That's going against Destiny Hardin.
Wow.
And it's going to be her 4th, Kelly. That is huge.
That is a massive call. Olivia Miles knew it. She started clapping the second he blew the whistle. And it's very risky, Sam. The officials are definitely cognizant of this call. They are looking for that wraparound where you hook and hold. And she did it right in front of the official. Now, I see the hook. I'm not sure I see the hold. Generally on a hook and hold, you hook a player, but then you grab them even more where they can't move. To me, that was a pretty quick whistle on Destiny Hardin. And unfortunately, just for fans who want to watch the best players on the floor, we've got Hardin now on the bench with 4 fouls.
See how that will affect Miami here. Team that has really made it tough on Notre Dame here. Up ahead, Pendande had it knocked away, and here comes Olivia Miles. 1-on-2. Where does Miles go? Picks up the dribble, had it poked away, and now gets fouled. That's going against Jalea Williams. Coming up next, Duke squaring off against number 7 NC State and a battle for the state of North Carolina. NC State's won 7 in a row, KG. Been impressive to watch them the last month and a half or so. Duke has also won 6 straight though, so something's got to give tonight.
I have been very impressed by Duke. NC State has done what we thought they would do. They've reloaded. They have that big win at Iowa. But the Dukies have looked very good. They're incredibly balanced. They've brought in some impactful transfers. This could be a big night for Duke to really put themselves on that national map with a win over NC State.
Last touch by Miami. And once again off the miss. It was last touch by Pendande.
Sam, it feels like it's been that kind of second half for Notre Dame. I think they're playing tight. That pass inside to Ebo, she's got a point-blank look at the rim, and she leaves it short. This is a tough situation on the road in ACC play, but Sonia Citron, who is one of the coolest players on this team in terms of composure, is able to prove me wrong there and knock down the 3.
10 straight games, now 11 straight in double figures for Sonia Citron. All tied up 56-56. Pendande short, offensive rebound for Roberts, and taken away by Westbeld. Dara Mabry in the open floor. Looking underneath, good help defense, but a foul going against Westbeld. How about Pendande, transition D there for the U.
And one of the main issues for Notre Dame last year were turnovers, where sometimes they just tried to force it. They tried to go too fast. They had a lot of young players last year. Now these players are a year older, and as much as I love Sonia Citron, love her game, that pass is just not necessary. You've got to pull it out, run something. There's no need to force that inside to Westbeld. We're seeing Notre Dame just a little bit in the second half, Sam, revert back to one of their issues last year where they just were not careful enough with the ball.
That's a block and a stare from Westbeld.
Ooh.
Trying to fire the team up a little bit.
This game has gotten chippier in the second half, that's for sure. Westbeld with the block. Just a little bit of a stare, Sam, nothing crazy.
Just hung around a little bit, hung around to make sure. Foul off the ball going against Jalea Williams. You know, foul's starting to rack up a little bit here for Miami.
And keep an eye on that because Notre Dame is such a good free throw shooting team at 75% as a team. That's 3 fouls for Miami, 2 more, and Notre Dame will be shooting 2 shots on every foul for the rest of the quarter. If you're Miami, you do not want to put Notre Dame at the line in this 4th quarter.
As a team, Notre Dame shooting 75% from the free throw line.
Tonight, though, they haven't shot it as well, Sam. Just 8 for 15.
Nope.
So something else to look at.
Cavinder on Citron. High ball screen. Citron lets it go, and it's short. Back the other way, quickly up ahead. And the layup to follow is no good. Couple of shots at the rim. And it just looks like Notre Dame's throwing the ball all over the floor right now, Kelly.
It's a time and score situation. Notre Dame, they like to play fast, they like to go, but right now, there's no need to do that. And that's what Dara Mabry is saying right now, the fifth-year senior going to walk the ball up the floor. You don't want to go away from who you are, but you also need to know what kind of situation we're in, and there's no need to force some of these quick shots.
That's going to be 4 team fouls on Miami here with 6:17 to play in the fourth quarter. Third on Pendande. And Niele Ivey's trying to quiet the team down, relax them a little bit. Olivia Miles, you see, sitting on the bench behind her with 5 turnovers in the game. Dara Mabry now kind of running the point. That's a travel, make it an even 20 turnovers on the game, Kelly. And some of these are unforced, but a lot of them have been forced.
Miami gets after you defensively, there's no doubt, and we know the effect that Dwyer has had on Miles and Destiny Hardin's defense, but I would say of these 20 turnovers for Notre Dame, at least 5 of them are just silly mistakes, like that travel right there by Bransford. So Notre Dame has to be more aware of that and show some more poise down the stretch if they want to get out of here with a win.
Now Olivia Miles back in the game, and just because Miles has struggled a little bit does not mean that she is done in this game. Got a feeling there's a little bit more in the tank. Cavinder and Miles bump together. Pendande baseline jumper too strong, and Roberts on the weak side puts a shot up. Miles, nice find to Ebo.
Great pass by Miles. She draws the defense, lets them come to her, makes them think she's going to take a floater, and then finds Ebo at the last minute.
You got a feeling, Kelly, maybe it was just a couple-minute breather that Olivia Miles needed on the bench, just to kind of reset a little bit. Here's Roberts, in and out. That was halfway down.
And Niele Ivey does a great job with that. Olivia Miles is still a very young player. She's only a sophomore. And sometimes when the game is going too fast or she's made a mistake or two, it's smart to sit her down, let her see the game from the bench.
Ariavets pushes coast to coast. Carla Ariavets ties it up once again, 58-58.
I told you Miami is not going away. There is never any quit in Katie Meyer's Miami teams.
Miles holding it on the wing. Ebo, free throw line, yes.
They were laying off Ebo. They were staying inside, almost daring Ebo to make that jumper, and she knocks it down.
Ebo now in double figures. She's got 11 points, 4 different players for Notre Dame with 10 or more. Cavinder, nice crossover, gets fouled on the way up. So when we come back, it will be Haley Cavinder at the free throw line trying to tie this one up. Back and forth we go in Coral Gables. It's a 2-point ball game. Welcome back. 4 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame, number 5 in the country, leading Miami by 2. Kelly Gramlich, Sam Ravitch on the call with you here. And no shocker here. Olivia Miles, triple-double watch, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. But also a handful of turnovers that have been costly. It's just kind of amazing. You know, struggle your way to a triple-double. Which is kind of the player that Olivia Miles can be, what she can provide. But here, Miami 6-43 against AP top 25 teams since the 1999-2000 season. Cavinder at the free throw line with 2, trying to tie this game back up.
And Miami's last win over a ranked team was over Notre Dame back in the 2022 ACC tournament. So they're familiar with this situation.
It's now the 7th time that this game has been tied. A huge third quarter effort from Miami, outscoring Notre Dame by 10 to bring them back in this game. There's Maddy Westbeld underneath to put Notre Dame back up 2.
Notre Dame continues to try to exploit that size advantage inside. When Miami has in this 4-guard lineup, they're going to try to go to Westbeld every time.
Jasmine Roberts, who's had a nice game defensively, hands it off to Dwyer. Dwyer cuts down the lane. A lot of contact, no whistle. Westbeld brings in the rebound. Quickly up to Miles.
Good
see
job
Olivia
by
Miles slowing
pulling
it
the
up there,
ball
Kelly.
out there. Yep, exactly, Sam. No need to rush and force something.
Watson pops one underneath, taken away by Dwyer. Quick hands underneath, looking to push. Lachey Dwyer dumps it off. Nice pass and a foul. Jasmine Roberts to the free throw line. You just saw 3 blue jerseys converge on Dwyer and dumps it off.
I thought maybe Dwyer was out of bounds here. Oh, okay, from that angle doesn't look like it. She takes off. Oh, perhaps. That is very close. They can't go back and review that. But looks like Dwyer maybe got away with stepping out of bounds.
So Roberts misses the first. 70% free throw shooter on the year. 3 for 4 at the free throw line for Roberts tonight. And Destiny Hardin has checked back into the game, Kelly. I was going to ask you, when is Katie Meyer going to put her back with 4 fouls? Now is the time.
I think the 3-minute mark is about right. Of course, Destiny Hardin, such a veteran. She knows she has those 4 fouls, but she's guarding Westbeld. Notre Dame is going to have to try to get the ball to Westbeld and see if they can get that foul on Hardin.
Westbeld turnaround jumper, no good. Gets her own rebound. Able to find a cutting Kylie Watson.
How about the patience from Maddy Westbeld? She's falling out of bounds, and instead of just throwing the ball up, she looks for a teammate, and then Watson makes herself available. That was an underrated, impressive play from Westbeld and Watson.
Doesn't get any better than this. This is ACC basketball at its finest. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Notre Dame leading it by 3. All right, welcome back. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play here. Notre Dame, number 5 team in the country, has been held in check here in the second half by Miami. But take a look at this play, Kelly, with Westbeld getting her own rebound, falling out of bounds, and now finds Kylie Watson.
It's such a heads-up play. She didn't panic, and she made something out of nothing.
Cavinder falling away there. Offensive rebound, jump ball. Possession to Notre Dame. Nice fight underneath from Pendande.
And Westbeld getting her hands on that. Westbeld has played a really good game for Notre Dame. She now has a double-double, 15 and 10. She is a big piece. If Notre Dame wants to reach its potential, they need a confident, aggressive Westbeld, and that's what you've seen tonight.
Miles, hesitation. No foul, Pendande, good defense. Cavinder does not have numbers, kicks it back to Ariavets, gets it back. How about the passing there for the U, finding Pendande underneath.
Beautiful transition offense by Miami, and a great job by Pendande to run the floor. Make yourself available, run rim to rim, sprint down there if you're a post player, and your guards will find you. Miami being patient, not forcing anything. Pendande sprints the floor, says, I'm open. Give me the rock.
At the half-court line, Citron able to, that was close.
It felt like Citron's body was on one side of the line and the ball was on the other. That was very close.
Citron baseline drive off the glass and in. Sonia Citron with 13 points in the game.
That's the second time they've tried to run Citron off the three-point line, and she's made him pay with a layup.
That would have been a huge shot for Destiny Hardin. It's tough. She's been on the bench with those 4 fouls. Trying to make a big shot now with a minute plus to play. Miles in no rush here. And a timeout called by Niele Ivey and Notre Dame. Well, tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a college basketball triple header that begins with this game in Pittsburgh at noon Eastern time. Armando Bacot, Caleb Love, and North Carolina taking on Blake Hinson and the Panthers at the Peterson Event Center. Should be a great afternoon of hoops right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. 66-63, a minute 4 to go here in the fourth quarter at the Watsco Center. Kelly Gramlich, Sam Ravitch on hand with you here. It's been an exciting one, Kelly. I mean, you can't ask for much more than this.
It has. Every single night in ACC play, when 14 of your 15 teams are in the top 100 of the net, these are the kind of games you're going to get. If I'm Notre Dame on this possession, first of all, you have to be very aware you only have 18 seconds on the shot clock. Miami has 4 fouls. If I'm Notre Dame, I am attacking the rim. I'm going to Westbeld inside. I'm getting Miles off a ball screen, heading to the rim, trying to score, but also forcing Miami to possibly pick up that 5th foul, get to the free throw line, make your free throws, and that's the way you can win this game if you're Miami. If you're Notre Dame, if you're Miami, you have to be aware. You don't want to commit that foul if you don't have to, because that could be a real issue, putting Notre Dame at the line for the rest of this fourth quarter.
Notre Dame not really in foul trouble, any of their individual players. Destiny Hardin with 4 personal fouls for Miami. There's Maddy Westbeld, a double-double tonight, 15 and 10. Notre Dame will inbound the ball to Miles. Lachey Dwyer is guarding her. Citron hands it off to Mabry. Mabry puts up a wild shot off the mark. Hardin brings in the rebound, and Miami has the basketball, down 3 with 40 seconds to play. Area vets for 3. Off the mark, out of bounds. And it will stay with Miami.
You can't ask for a much better look. I would take that look if I'm Miami. You got an open 3 in transition. Some coaches might disagree, but that's a good look for area vets, and it almost falls for the Canes.
Area Vets has struggled this year shooting the ball from distance, shooting under 20%, but that would have been a huge, huge 3. The officials taking a look at this to see who it was last touched by. Possession was initially given to Miami.
So they need indisputable evidence to overturn this. That's important that possession was originally given to Miami. It looks like at the very end, Sam, if you're looking at Pendande's left hand.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That perhaps, and I love that picture right there. Miles pointing one way, Pendande pointing the other. That's excellent. From that angle, it looks like it maybe was off Pendande.
You gotta need some clear and conclusive evidence to overturn this call. So that will be the question. Is it clear and conclusive?
Ooh. I don't think it's clear and conclusive from that angle, Sam, but maybe the other angle.
Well, you don't need me to tell you how crucial of a call this is. If it stays with Miami, 37.2 seconds, down by 3. If it goes to Notre Dame, still the shot clock will be on, but might be in foul territory there.
That angle, it feels like it's off Pendande, but it's hard to tell how long she's touching that ball. Let's see if the officials have, oh, maybe not, Sam, we're not sure. This is a very pivotal call, so I know they want to get it right. This is also a very difficult call.
It's one of those where there's a couple of hands on the ball, and you're trying to figure out whose fingertips it came off of last. Here's one last look, KG.
It's times like these when I'm really glad I'm not an official, because this is so hard to determine. That's the angle to me that says it's off Pendande, but it's so hard at the very end with how grainy it is. I know this is what we've got here, but is she still touching it? That's what I don't know,
yeah.
Sam. And that's what the officials are trying to determine.
It's going to be Notre Dame basketball. So they were able to find that evidence, Kelly, and hand the ball to Notre Dame. Last touched by Pendande. So your initial reaction was right.
I can see that. I know it's very difficult to determine, but from those angles, it did look like it was off Pendande last.
They will have a timeout. Niele Ivey will use her second, trying to advance the ball. That's going to be their third. So Notre Dame will advance the ball here. 37.4 to go. 30 seconds on the shot clock. And Destiny Hardin with those 4 fouls. Remember, Kelly, she had just 3 points in the first half. Got to imagine that Miami is going to try and rely on her down the stretch if they can.
She set the tone coming out of halftime that Miami was not going away. She looked determined walking out of that locker room and got off to a very quick start. I think was able to give her teammates some confidence. And then, of course, Dwyer jumped in and also added another spark. Once Hardin picked up that third foul, it was almost simultaneous. Hardin went to the bench, Dwyer stepped up. That's what you want to see from your team. But Miami needs Hardin to stay on the floor and not pick up that 5th foul.
And it's knocked away. Miami has the ball. Destiny Hardin with it.
What a play.
And Katie Meyer gets a timeout in. How about it, Kelly? Active hands.
And Sam, that's so difficult for her because she has that 4th foul. She knows she can't foul. So she's got to play defense without fouling and get that steal. Just impressive from Destiny Hardin. Her basketball IQ is off the chart. She knows exactly what her team needs. She says, I can't foul, but I can get my hands on this and get a steal for Miami. Coach Katie Meyer calls a timeout. Let's see what Miami comes up with.
That is the 22nd turnover of the game for Notre Dame. Kind of in uncharted waters here this season, at least. There was an issue last year, but when it comes to Miami, and head coach Katie Meyer has been in a ton of these situations, Kelly, what's she drawing up over there?
You do not need a 3. You have a ton of time left here with 30 seconds and 26 seconds on the shot clock. I would attack the rim. I don't think you need a 3 right now. You don't necessarily have a shooter that you feel great about. If you are going 3, I believe it's Haley Cavinder. She's your best shooter on the floor, but Miami's only 2 for 12 from 3 at this point. So your best available look, but I would run something for Destiny Hardin.
Dwyer looking underneath to Hardin. Not open.
They
Cavinder
wanted to
with
get
the
it to
ball.
her inside there, Sam.
And another timeout called by Katie Meyer.
They wanted to get the ball to Hardin right there inside, but Hardin wasn't able to hold the seal. That was really good defense by Notre Dame. And now down to 14 seconds on the shot clock with less time remaining. I think you consider I would consider a 3 more now than I would when you had 30 seconds left. Because if you could score there, get a stop, the game is much longer. Now you're just down to 19 seconds. If they're looking for the 3 ball, I think you look for Cavinder. The main issue with Cavinder, and she's a great player, but she's definitely undersized. And so you have to find a way to get her open. Whereas with Destiny Hardin, you know she can go create her own shot by elevating.
Miami is 2 for 12 from beyond the arc today. Both of the 3s have come from Haley Cavinder, who also had 3 threes in the previous game against Florida State. So she's shooting the ball really well, seeing it well from beyond the arc.
I would say your first option in whatever action you run, try to get Cavinder open for a 3. If she's not, whoever has the ball, Hardin, Lachey Dwyer attack the rim. Try to go score and draw a foul. That's what I would do here. First option is Cavinder. If that's not there, second option, attack the rim.
Miami down 3 with the ball. 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Ball inbounded to Pendande. Cavinder.
They ran the
7
fade
to
for her,
shoot.
but she couldn't get it off.
Hardin has to get a shot off, and does. Misses to the right. Dwyer with the rebound. And I think Katie Meyer got the final timeout in. And she certainly did with 4.6, so Miami with another life here.
That's the beauty of having 3 timeouts left when you get in these situations. But Sam, they ran that flare. They ran the flare play for Cavinder. And if she had a few more inches, she probably could have gotten that shot off. But you've got 6'1" Sonia Citron guarding 5'7" Haley Cavinder. Citron was not going to let Cavinder get that shot off. But I like the play, and you had a good look there. And then just a heads up by Dwyer to keep hustling, to get that ball back and get another possession for Miami. Now with 4.6 seconds, I believe you got to look for a 3. If you don't feel like Cavinder can get her shot off, I would try to get the ball in Destiny Hardin's hands and let her elevate for a 3.
All right, let's see what the Canes drew up there in the timeout. Area vets with the inbounds. Hardin coming off a screen, gets the shot off the back iron, just too strong.
Sam. They got the look, the way Hardin can elevate from beyond the arc, but what a game between 2 teams that I think will both be in the NCAA tournament. And again, a good look. Hardin's able to elevate over Citron, unlike Cavinder, but just doesn't fall. Notre Dame escapes on the road. Sam, what a basketball game.
No question about it, wasn't for a lack of effort. Miami